Hello ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folks, and welcome to my Help Wanted 2 lore video. This game is mighty complicated with many lore questions to dig into, but I'm gonna focus on two that I find most important. How does this game work, and who is the main protagonist? We're gonna start with how the game works, and for that we're gonna have to talk about how the Vanny mask works. In Help Wanted 2, we are wearing the Virtual Augmented Neural Network Integration Unit, or the Vanny masks for short, as well as most likely an occipital that transponder, which both appear in Ruin. The transponder is referring to the lobes on the back of your head which control your vision and perception, including color, form, and motion. A transponder is just referring to a device that takes in signals, meaning that we have a device in our head that controls our perception. To understand how the Vanny mask works, we need to break down the acronym word by word. First, we have to start with Virtual Augmented, which stands for Virtual and Augmented Reality. Virtual reality is a virtually simulated experience, while augmented reality combines the real world with computer-generated content. This means when we put the Vanny mask on, we are put into a mash of VR and AR. This, in real life, is referred to as mixed reality. If we look at Help Wanted 2 and apply these rules to the area we are given to play when we have the mask on, we are in an augmented reality space, with the real world being mixed with computer-generated content, such as Mystic Hippo, the Memory Plushies, and the Faz Force. The next part of the VANNI name is NN, which stands for Neural Network. A neural network, as defined by Amazon Web Services, is a method of artificial intelligence that teaches computers to process data in a way inspired by the human brain. This is done through deep learning, which uses interconnected nodes. This lines up very well with what we already know about the Vanny mask, as it is used to repair nodes in Ruin. Integration just means being let into this network. Why how the Vanny mask works is important is because of how the main character of Help Wanted 2 interacts with the minigames. In the Fazbear Entertainment Orientation Program, we are offered an on-the-job job training position. We are told that they can't say more without us sending a non-disclosure agreement, but in the trailer we hear more about this training. It is for basically everything in the Pizzaplex, including customer service, technical support, helping the stars, safety and security, and game testing. The minigames are this on-the-job training talked about at the start of the game, as every minigame can fit into one of these categories. All of these minigames are also in VR. That's why I didn't mention the VR part of Help Wanted's gameplay. I was waiting to talk about the minigames. It's simulated job training, explaining why we're down here in the pizza place but somehow can be upstairs working on animatronics, why we can be all over the pizzaplex in the matter of seconds, with the purpose of using a computer to access these and a VR mask to play them, since we always spawn back into the game with a VR mask on. And most importantly, why there can be stuff from so many eras of the Pizzaplex. To the beginning where Roxanne wasn't even a character that we knew about, and we only knew about Freddy and Chica, to when Roxy became a thing, and even after Security Breach, since Shattered and Ruin, Chica and Roxy both appear. Why are we so special? Who are we in Help Wanted 2? To grasp this, we need to look back to the PlayStation blog post before the game ever even released, where we learn we are the last human employee working at the Pizzaplex. But it can't be that simple. If we were just a human employee, nothing else, there would be no reason for us to be in this FFBS location, and all of the stuff with Glitch Trap would be very, very, very not important to us. And as we know, there's something special about us, according to all of this dialogue. To set us in the right direction, we need to look at some Help Wanted 2 scrap dialogue. The reason is because I think it gives us necessary clues to figure out why we're here, and therefore figure out who we are. One of the lines says, not to let it escape, and then it's trying to use us to finish off what she started. It also helps confirm what I said in the PlayStation blog post, with it saying, you are the last, it kept you for a reason. With that information and some of the other scrap dialogue, I feel like it's pretty easy to figure out what's going on here. We are the last human employee of the Pizzaplex, and we are instructed to come down here, most likely from the doing of Glitchtrap. The reason? He wants us to help him set him free. So we come to the pizzeria. We put on the mask so we can't tell the dangerous environment that we're entering due to Glitchtrap messing up with our visual perception in order to help set him free. Yet at the same time, someone is trying to stop him and kill him forever. By the ending, we can tell that this is most likely Vanny. That's overall a pretty concise story. We're being tricked by Glitchtrap in order to send him free, out into the world. Very much like the first Help Wanted. With that, who is the protagonist? Now, this is the most hotly debated topic in the FNAF community at the start of this game release. The identity of the protagonist was pretty complicated when I first got into the game as well, so let's go over the evidence having to do with the protagonist, and using those characteristics to narrow it down. The protagonist of Help Wanted 2 is the last remaining Pizzaplex employee. But what else do we know about them? Well, they have a Faz wrench, and it's an item that, according to Mystic Hippo, is familiar to them, meaning they're most likely a Pizzaplex employee before this moment. They also seemingly are connected to the FNAF 1 era Bonnie mask, as well as it being familiar to them. We know that they are an adult, and most likely have a family due to the lines with Carney, and they have some sort of connection to Cassie's storyline and the Vanny mask, which was for Class 5 technicians, that, with the Freddy line from his minigame saying that we are a Fazbear technician, aren't we? You're most likely also a Fazbear technician. We also know from the first trailer that we're most likely a returning employee. All of these, in my opinion, lead to one man, Cassie's father. We know that he has a connection to older Fazbear merchandise such as the Bonnie mask, explaining why it's so familiar to him, as well as the fact that Bonnie was his favorite. It also has a connection to Glitchtrap becoming free, as in that ending, where we set Glitchtrap free, we are enticed and lured to collect old Fazbear merchandise, which is again a connection. It explains his access to a Faz wrench and why it's familiar to him, and it gives him a connection to Cassie in his final moments of the game. To me, it makes most sense for him to be our protagonist. He was called back and tricked by Glitchtrap to set him free, with Vanny trying to stop him and murder Glitchtrap. It also makes sense since Scott likes to clarify things in the next game, and one of the biggest questions from Ruin was the identity of Cassie's father, and what happened to him. This game explains why one day he just disappeared, leaving nothing but a note. With that, I think I explained everything I want to explain in this first video, but I want to cover way more in the future. The next video is definitely going to be about the endings, but I want to cover small lore details, Candy Cadet, everything. I just love everything in this game. But I wanted to start small in order to get something out for you guys, since I've seen a lot of debate, and I disagree with a lot of people on how they've been presenting who the protagonist is and how this game works. So I wanted to get my opinion out there as fast as possible. With that, like and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the flip side. Later!